So, who's the greatest Pittsburgh Steeler receiver ever? And I'm really going to ask you because you got Hines Ward, Antonio Brown, and John Stallworth. Three of the great ones. All due respect to Lynn Swan, but these guys, stat wise, totality is where I'm coming from. Obviously, you can put Swan in there if you're talking about the heroics and coming with the big time plays. They would be the Mount Rushmore Steeler receivers. Some people may make an argument for Lewis Lips. It all depends. But let's stick with these three, shall we? Hines Ward, Super Bowl MVP, Antonio Brown, arguably considered the greatest Steeler receiver just on pure talent, and Stallworth, who was a beast for the Steelers in the 70s during their four championship runs. So it's hard to say who was the best, because you can make a debate for all three. You give John Stallworth Roethlisberger throwing him the rock as what Hines Ward and Antonio Brown had, who's no telling what his stats would have been because he was a big time receiver. It's just in an era where there was more running plays and it wasn't the same exclusivity, but he was one of the baddest receivers ever. Hines Ward came up big, versatile, could definitely hit you on some blocks. Very talented. Antonio Brown, punt return, kickoff return, his quickness, his agility. It's just that he flipped out basically. That's the only downside to say about AB. But it's to me, if I'm going to say, I'll say this. I'd say Antonio Brown was probably the best talent of the three. Stallworth and Hines were clutch. Who did the most of the two? This is the unfortunate thing because Hines Ward came up so big, but he had Randall L. They had some big time playmakers. Stallworth has been the one that's probably the most underrated of the three because Swan caught all those spectacular passes, and that's the notoriety. And Franco Harris was Franco, and of course the steel curtain defense was so great, so it gets lost in the shuffle. But John Starr was a beast. I remember that Rams game; he came with some big time plays. It's just that he just didn't sell like Lynn Swan did. And sometimes the guy who catches big time plays and clutch moments with the jersey numbers, that's who people remember. That's the unfortunate reality of it. But they all make for interesting, compelling arguments about it. Who would you pick? Why would you pick them? And how and where they come down. So it's a real interesting, uh, interesting tone and what have you of where do you come down with them and how do they hit for you and the trajectories and so on and so forth. So I think that if I was just going on talent, I'd say AB would probably win. But Stallworth and Hines Ward were more dependable and they had deeper impact. So that's kind of how I look at it with that. And it's a great argument because these three guys had big time roles in Steeler history, and they each were compelling stories. When you talk about the Steelers' talent and depth and magnitude and what they were about. So thought I'd take the time to kind of it's a good reflection. 'Cause I've had some Steeler fans come at me, and also I'm just thinking about they were big time players, what they represented, how it came to be, and the prosper. You think about how they were, you know, what they were about. So, um, it makes for good conversation. It's always good. You can debate it, Zoom style, barbershop style. So really people in Pittsburgh probably do this all the time, talking about those three. But anyway, I thought I'd mention them and whatnot. But tell me what you think. Who would you take out of Hines Ward, Antonio Brown, and John Stallworth? And if you were ranking them 1 through 3, how would you have it? Who do you think was the more talented? Who do you think was the more impactful? Who do you think came up the biggest? It's a no bad answers here because they were definitely big time in Steeler history. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like, hit that membership because when you do requests like this, I bring forth. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.